Hello, welcome to AT Garage. Today's video is going to be about diagnosing the rear hatch defogger. And one night discovered that it didn't work. So hold on a second, I'll be right back. Okay, like I was saying, today's video is about troubleshooting the rear defroster on the hatch, the glass hatch there. And the reason I very rarely use it, most of the time when I leave the house, car's parked in the garage, so it doesn't get any frost or dew on it. And the other day I did a track day in New Jersey, and I stayed at a motel. I woke up in the morning, it was in the 30s, and it was a lot of dew on the car, and I of course engaged the defroster so I could see out the back window, and it didn't work. Probably didn't work for a long time, but anyway, I'm going to go over how to diagnose it. It's pretty simple, depending of course what it is, but the most important thing, and this has to do with a 90 C4 Corvette. This probably applies to other years, I would think so. And as anyone's familiar with the C4 Corvettes, there's actually two different heating systems, heating air conditioners. The manual, and then there's the C68 automatic climate control. It doesn't matter which one you have, this is really important when you test it. The engine must be running in order to test that defogger. It will not work unless the engine's running, and then it only works for 10 minutes and shuts off. You then have to turn, if it does shut off after 10 minutes, you got to turn it back on, the defroster, and then it only stays on for 5 minutes at a time. But anyway, first thing I'm going to do is bring up the troubleshooting chart. This is from the factory service manual for a 90 Corvette electrical supplement. Okay, if you don't have one, just watch this video or look it up online. But basically, like I said, note the following test must be done with engine running unless otherwise noted. Okay, and one of the first things it says is to connect the light to the two test leads. And let me move the camera and I'll show you, get you a better view of that. Okay, on each side of the rear hatch you will have a wire like this, and this here is a replacement connector, but it'll be a black connector, and it connects right to the bottom of the strut. So you will connect the test light to one of those connections, and then over on the other side, and please ignore my flashing light, I know it's flashing. This flashing light has nothing to do with the test. And then you will probe it with that connector on the bottom of that gas strut. So let me start the motor and we'll test it. And it says make sure that the wires are hooked up too, so don't disconnect the wires when you do that. Okay, the motor is running, as you guys can probably hear, and that's something else I gotta fix. But there we go. Get my light, as you guys can see. That means the circuit going back to the fuse panel is good. All right, we tested that part. That would be this section here. It also goes into if you have a convertible, what to do. I've never had a convertible. I never tested one, and just follow the FSM. But and then here, if you have the light works, if you get a light and you have a circuit, it says yes and no. If it's no, check for open in circuit 192. If okay, repair open and ground circuit. That's basically the circuits that run back to the fuse box and the ground. So that you'll have to look up in the service manual. That will be much more difficult. First thing to check would be the fusible. There is actually a resettable fuse, one of these little cartridges that's used for that, a 30 amp one. And Here, since I do have the light, it says check the wires between the top of each hatch, strut, and window grid for breakage or poor connection. Okay, check for slice across the entire window grid. Okay, so hold on, I'll get my ohm meter and I'll demonstrate what to do. All right, here we have a VOM meter. This is one from Harbor Freight, of course. And when you connect the two wires, you get a circuit. And this one has a beep in it too, like a tone. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. With my tetanitis, I can't actually barely hear it. But basically what we are doing is we are going to test for a complete circuit from where the wire hooks here to where it hooks to the bottom of this gas strut. This gas strut is what completes the circuit on both sides. One on this side, one on that side. One on the drivers, one on the passengers. And basically you just connect it here and connect it there. The wires are on there loose, but maybe you guys can see that. I got the circuit on this side. Now I'm going to go over, test the other side, and on the other side here, do the same tests. Now I already did this and I already repaired it, but basically what happened is when I tested it, there was no circuit. And I'll move the camera where you get a better view and I'll show you what happened. Okay, if you look right here where this wire connects, this piece here, see how it's a little bit loose. It's not making good contact with the strut. The way I repaired it was, well, I basically sprayed a product called Deoxit on it, and I went ahead and did all the other connectors, and what that does improve connectivity. If that didn't work, I could probably go in here and I don't know, maybe put a piece of solder or just toy around with it somehow and maybe get it to improve conductivity that way. Worst case, if I couldn't, I could run a wire directly up the strut, which I really wouldn't want to do because then when you close it, the wire is going to hang. But I could do that if I had to, absolutely had to. I probably would just keep finagling with this connector to get it to work. But that worked. And to double check, because it's really no way to check it, see how well it works, unless you got dew or frost on the window, I'll show you how I checked that. Okay, checked and see that it's working. It's the only way I can check until I get dew on it or maybe put some water on it or something. But test up here and I'll get my light. Okay, I went to go demonstrate that it worked by testing the test light up here, and it didn't work, even though it worked before. And so I ended up removing the strut, and what I'm finding out, and hopefully you can see that on the end, is this end unscrews. So I'm going to go ahead, clean that contact, and screw this on tight, and hopefully that will fix the problem. So hang tight, I'll be back in a few minutes and we'll see if that works. Alright, here it is. It should be fixed. I haven't tested it yet. I'm about to find out. Ta-da! It works! Look at that. Okay, hopefully that will hold. And I guess the next thing I'll fix is that flashy, annoying light right there, which is probably just a loose bulb, I hope. Alright! Hope that was helpful. I certainly learned something. One thing to keep in mind if you're testing, trying to repair your rear defroster and on a C4 Corvette, the engine does need to be running when you test the power. So keep that in mind. Everything else, like when you test with an ohm meter, always test with no power. Otherwise you'll burn up the ohm meter. And I'm going to end this video here, and I'm going to fix that annoying flashing light, I hope. But hope everybody has a great day, and God bless.